This is the Clarity Act watch. It's crypto versus banks. Okay, what controls the rules? I've been digging deep on this thing. I want to provide you some information. I'm going to do a series of 5 videos up until this thing is stamped into law, because I have answers. I have questions that I want the answers to. So now 35 people are shaping the future of crypto regulation in the United States. Some of these people are the ones who actually built cryptocurrency. The real ones. It's not. Now I'm not talking about the youngins in their parents' basement or their bedroom, sitting there writing code, trying to rug pull people. We're not talking about that. Some of the people on this committee have built Wall Street. Come on, crazy talk. That Wall Street controls the world, and I'm not saying that lightly. So right now, all these guys are in the same room. I did a little deep dive here. I do have some information I'm going to give you. So here's the most important thing that people are talking about, and here's my question. When is the negotiation window going to be closed? When are the deadlines, and when do things have to be solidified? Okay? That's what I'm trying to find out today. Now, what's actually happening? I got some notes here. Sorry, I look away from the camera. I've got a bunch of things going on, some charts, and I'm got my camera, the whole so. The CFTC is assembled 35-member Innovation Advisory Committee. At the same time, the Clarity Act's moving through Congress with the goal of defining 4 things. What qualifies as a digital commodity? What remains a security? When the CFTC has authority over these things. And then when the SEC has to step in and have authority. Those are the 4 main questions. And don't sit there and say, oh, you guys know. I got some comments like, it's already done. It's not done. There is not clarity for XRP. There's some clarity because of the innovation and technology, but it's not in terms of regulatory systems in place. It's not. Okay. This isn't abstract. We're talking about on policies. This is rubber meets the road type of stuff, people. Okay. It's specifically stablecoins, DeFi, layer 1 networks. And yes, the XRP classification is on the biggest part of the agenda. It really is because, as you all know, Ripple is a company that created XRP. And so when you have a company receiving revenue or doing something as its own entity that controls the stock price, raising or lowering, that becomes the security discussion. Now, XRP, does it live on its own? Kinda, but guess what? Ripple's sitting on it's 50 to 60% of the total supply of XRP tokens. That's what you can't have as a commodity. Now if Ripple floods the market with 50 billion tokens, the price is going to it's going to be devastating. It's going to drop down to 50-40 cents automatic. That's not going to happen, but we got the supply and demand thing is a problem in my head. I got to get this figured out. Now, before we go deeper, hey, I want to make this clear. This isn't going to be a one-off video. I'm doing a series of videos up until this thing's signed off. This is number 1 coming at you right now. Okay, I'm calling it the Clarity Act Watch series, where we track every major development, these committee shifts, banking pushbacks, jurisdiction battles, all the way up until this bill is finalized. And I've got sources that are giving me this information that I'm sharing with you. Who's in the room? Look, Brian Armstrong. We got Coinbase CEO Garlinghouse, Ripple. We got Adams, the Uniswap founder, Nazarov. He's the Chainlink Labs. We got the Solana Labs guy and Anatoly. So huge players. These are the guys that these are the infrastructure architects that create and build digital asset ecosystem. These list of names are amazing. It goes on and on. There's other ones. So now on the traditional finance side, which these are like the veteran players. These are the big boys in the room, where the crypto guys are kind of like the rookies coming in here, but the rookies have more talent than the veteran players. So the coach is trying to determine who gets to start to help win a championship. It's tough. So here's some of the, the names are available here, but it's a CME Group, Nasdaq, the Intercontinental Exchange people. We got the Depository Trust and Clearinghouse Corporations. These are massive financial players, dude. I mean, they operate the backbone of the financial systems as we know it. The clearinghouse settlements, futures markets, liquidity infrastructure. It's all the structural power with finance. We need these guys to negotiate with because they run it right now. Now, what are they disagreeing on? Here's another big point I want to share. So should stablecoins be allowed to offer yield or reward structures without being regulated like the banks? That's what they're sitting there saying. It's not fair, man. It's not fair. I kind of agree. Crypto's talking about innovation should be able to compete freely in a capitalistic market. Blockchain doesn't really apply to what the traditional finance guys can understand. It's a completely different situation. It's really interesting. So the bank's positioning, it says, if it resembles a deposit product, it requires a bank oversight. This is a major discussion, people. So it determines whether stablecoins compete with traditional deposits. So now, commodity versus security. The Clarity Act attempts to clearly define, here's one of my questions today. What qualifies as a digital commodity? When the CFTC has jurisdiction. And then when the SEC retains the oversight. Massive questions here. If more of the tokens fall under a commodity classification, that shifts regulatory tone significantly. If SEC authority remains dominant, enforcement pressure continues. So the distinction, it matters more than anything than what the broader markets are doing, people. I mean, this is critical to the cryptocurrency space. Now, so the legacy finance people, they prefer, I've got 3 bullet points on each. They prefer the registered intermediaries, the capital requirements, and then the structured clearinghouse model. Those are big terms. Crypto native leaders are pushing for protocol recognition. It's very different. It's very different than the banking. Token life cycle clarity, and then reduced regulatory ambiguity. I mean, these are oranges and apples. I mean, you can't even, it's crazy. This is the debate that they're having over those things, the structure bank. So this isn't a statutory deadline. There is no statutory deadline requiring Congress to finalize the Clarity Act by a specific date, people. That's another main point. Put that in here. There is no specific date. However, negotiations are reportedly working toward a March window to resolve major sticking points, particularly stablecoin language. Industry commentary suggests spring, ladies and gentlemen, could be the political window for Senate movement. Woo! Okay, so here's what that means. If compromise happens soon, legislative momentum will start to build in terms of, government officials signing off on things. If these negotiations stall, and we have seen this before, when we can't have some kind of partisan agreement on both sides of the aisle here, it could stall for months and months and months. Just put that in the back of your mind, so we don't get too impatient. Now, these stalled builds, we've seen them before. They can sit here and just get stagnant and sit quietly without moving when we can't find a compromise on this thing. So please, Congress people, the Senate, find a way to work this out. Now, okay, so can Congress, can crypto outnumber the banks? Crypto leaders have seats at the table. I believe more seats. So structurally, the institutions, CME, ICE, Nasdaq, DTCC control the infrastructure. So crypto, they're bringing innovation, which in this day and age, in 2026, that's a huge word that piques big boys' interest. So, the problem is the traditional banking system brings this systemic leverage that you can't mess with. You just can't. So we're trying to figure out who has more chairs in the room. It's who controls the plumbing in the house or the electrical system in the house. That's if to keep and maintain a household, you gotta know a plumber and you gotta know an electrician. If you want to live in this house over time, those systems will have issues that need to be fixed at some point. That's the big question. Now, this is episode 1. I kind of wanted just to define things and give you, there is no specific date. It's the spring. We're looking towards the spring for some official date to come out now. The reason why, if you understand the fight, you can understand where this entire bill could go potentially. Now, if the crypto leaders in the room, in the traditional finance, controls the infrastructure, who's going to shape the rules? This is what I'm trying to find out. So that's my next question going into episode 2. Everybody, thank you. I appreciate you checking in right here. Now, I'm going to leave you with a chart. Let me show you a chart on where we're at right now on XRP real quick. It's moving in between this. You can see the consolidation zone. When I go look at it, we had this flag pattern that broke out right around. I moved this line up, but it was a breakout a little lower because the resistance was here. It broke out about above that 144 to 150, and we had this huge wick up to 168. That was crazy. Congratulations if you were able to catch that. But now we're back into the zone between. It's 140 to $1.50 in between this zone right now. You know what, people? I expect this price action to move in between these lines until the spring, until this Clarity Act thing does solidify. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm waiting for. It's funny because a lot of the crypto charts look very similar. We're going to be moving sideways, people. So just we got to be patient. Don't sit here and make any rash decisions right now. I'm telling you, we're in the crypto winter. At the same time, stock market has hit all-time highs. There's technicals that are showing that this thing is going to correct. Just believe me on this one. My mentor, thank you, Economic Ninja, for showing me and teaching me some of these things on the macro, bigger picture of economics. We've got a whole head and shoulders pattern developing on the S&P 500. If it breaks that neckline, look, this is not financial advice. There are no guarantees, but I'm telling you, if it breaks that neckline on the head and shoulder pattern, we're going down. The 20% correction is real because there's the next support level it's down there. This is going to happen, so just stand by. That's why I went to cash. I was trying to get over 50% cash in my accounts. I sold at anything that I had positive numbers on. I sold and went to cash, and so I'm sitting on it's about a third. I'm sitting on about 35%. I was trying to get closer to 50% with my other positions in red. I'm not selling. Never sell when you're down. I don't do that. Believe it or not, I am up on my XRP. So I might liquidate some of it. I'm sitting here, I got it. It's personal. Don't judge me over it. As a retail investor, everything's personal. We all got it in a different spot, so you can't even comment on what I make a decision on doing with my XRP. I will share it with you as I do it. I'm staying fully transparent as I move forward and learn this game alongside of you guys. I appreciate it. You got to remember, I've been doing this since 2019. I really learned a lot in the DeFi compared to the centralization stuff, and I have a lot to say about that. As I matured and started to understand and become a little more savvy, I did understand that we have to focus on the higher market cap projects are safer. That's the one thing that I've learned. So, hey, Hopsauce signing out. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Try to get some fresh air, some sunshine out there if you can. Do something that clears your mind and helps you ease the tension. All right. Thanks for checking in. Like always, give me that thumbs up. Hit that sub if you would, please. I spend a lot of time doing this. I got to have some kind of monetization to keep this thing going. I study this stuff every day, but it does take time and effort to share this information with y'all. I'm going to keep doing it, though. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Peace out. Peace out.